Well, good evening and welcome to a really great presentation you're going to get a lot out of tonight called Moms on a Mission. You are so truly fortunate to hear from this panel of fantastic moms. My name is Ellen Graham. I am a mom on a mission in Denver. I have two boys who are 9 and 12. I am unique in that I am a single mom. I have been with the Healthy Living Revolution and the Juice Plus Company for 11 years. And so I'm excited to bring you this panel of women because I have seen lives changed for over a decade. I am fortunate enough to live a life that is so extraordinary and be home with my boys and doing this as a single mom. It's really, really a gift. So that being said, we are going to start off tonight really at the beginning of life. We have a unique story from Audra Caldwell. She's a mom of 3 down in Arizona. She's absolutely a fantastic speaker and a person who's really passionate about growth happening in her home, not just the growing bodies of children, but everyone growing and flourishing. And so, you know, I believe very strongly that Juice Plus, and you may have had no exposure to it yet, and you can learn more, but y'all, Juice Plus is fruits and vegetables in a capsule and in a gummy. And it is life-giving nutrition. And I think as in pregnancy, it's absolutely one of the most fantastic things that a pregnant mama can do for herself, because we know from the science of Juice Plus, it goes into the bloodstream. And of course, from there, it gets into the placenta and into that little growing baby. So Audra, would you like to share with us your story for a few minutes?
I absolutely would. Thank you, Ellen. When my second child was born almost 3 years ago, I had a horrible gallbladder, and I had it removed when he was just 2 months old. Then 2 days later, I developed acute pancreatitis where I was in the hospital for 5 days, and I was severely dehydrated, jaundiced, and developed gout. I could never get my stomach quite right after that, but then a year later, I was surprised to find out that I was expecting again. This took me completely by surprise, and I was not where I wanted to be health-wise. And it's because I was still recovering from all the things I went through after my gallbladder removal. I didn't want to go back to the hospital, not even for birth, so I found a midwife. And then she recommended that I take Juice Plus. She had complete confidence in it, and she was sure that that's what I needed to take. I researched it, and it seemed like a good idea, so that's what I did. And after the healthiest and happiest baby, I put my entire family on it. We've all been on it for about a year, and we've all been well and the least sick that we've ever been. Now, I decided I wanted to share Juice Plus when I decided this is something that benefited the health of my family. And then, of course, that made me want to share it with others. And I've been doing things for personal growth for years. I've gone to Toastmasters, I've taken college classes and other classes in personal development. And I can see myself able to grow in the Juice Plus business and become the best person and leader that I could possibly be.
That is so awesome, Audra. Well, we are so glad that you had Juice Plus when you were pregnant with Matthew. He is definitely adorable. And now I'm going to introduce you to another mom of 3 as well. And her name is Jamie Bischoff, and she's up in Oregon. And just Jamie blows me away with her passion for healthy living and healthy food. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you need to. And how she does it all with these 3 little ones is extraordinary. So Jamie, share with us a little bit about your story.
Oh, thank you. So I was introduced to Juice Plus about 6.5 years ago by my sister. I had been struggling with infertility for a little over 6 years, and about 6 months prior to her sharing it with me, I had suffered a miscarriage at about 10.5 weeks. So I was in a place of just really like true desperation, and I wanted to do whatever it was that I could do to make my body as healthy as possible so that I could get pregnant and stay pregnant. So when she introduced it to me, it made sense to me. It was fruits and veggies. Growing up, I basically ate the standard American diet of processed foods. I mean, I basically lived on pizza rolls and Oreos. And I did not eat very many fruits and vegetables. So I knew I needed it in my diet. And so I jumped on board right away. And we continued with our infertility treatments. And I ended up getting pregnant with twins about 6 months later. And when my twins were 9 months old, I found myself pregnant again, surprisingly, with no infertility treatments. So I'm going to back up just a little bit and kind of share with you. So right after I started taking Juice Plus, within about 30 days, I noticed some significant health changes. So growing up on that processed foods diet, I had suffered headaches. I was on medication for headaches starting in elementary school. Those turned into migraines when I was in college. And in my teen years, I developed a lot of really severe digestive issues. So I was struggling with IBS, acid reflux disease, GERD, if you've ever heard of that, gastritis, heartburn, all kinds of things. I was seeing specialists constantly, and they basically were putting me on medication after medication and just saying, this is just your life. And so that's what I thought my life was going to be, just miserable, and I was going to not feel well. But 30 days into being on the capsules, I felt a lot more energy. I was sleeping better, and I was craving vegetables, which was really weird for me because normally I craved pizza rolls. And so I thought that was strange. But the most significant thing in that first 30 days was that my IBS symptoms had virtually gone away. I wasn't having those same issues. I was going to the bathroom regularly. I wasn't having the stomach pain that I was so used to. And for that reason alone, I've said it time and time again, I will never stop taking the capsules because in 6 years, I have not had a symptom. So back to getting pregnant with my third major surprise baby. I was on bed rest with that pregnancy, and we were packing to move across the country. And I was kind of taking out things in my medicine cabinet and packing those, and I realized that I hadn't refilled my allergy or my migraine medication in over a year. And I just hadn't noticed because I was busy with newborn twins, and then I got pregnant again, and I didn't realize it. And it was kind of at that time that the stars really aligned for me, and I realized like how powerful it was that, you know, getting involved with this company had really changed my lifestyle and my diet completely. And I had gone through this crazy health transformation, and I just couldn't keep it to myself anymore. So on bed rest, as one does, you start a new business and you start sharing it with everyone. So yeah, I'm really like, since then, I'm on a mission to just make sure that everyone knows about this. I feel like it's a gift, and people who are in a place where they're ready for change in their life, you know, need to know about it. So that's what I'm doing. And I absolutely love it.
That's so awesome, Jamie. I couldn't agree more that bed rest pregnancy and being home with small ones is a great time to start this up because it gives you, you know, something for yourself, and it gives you some milestones during your day when the kitchen and the laundry and the diapers never ever end, right? That being said, we're going to move to Jenna Platt, who has also changed her fair share of diapers. She is a mom of 4 boys, and she is awesome. Jenna is visionary, and she can really, you know, she can see past the laundry to see what she can create here in her life and the impact she can have on others.
Sometimes I can see past the laundry. So when I first heard about Juice Plus, I knew it was going to be a no-brainer. It was something that we were definitely going to add to our diets. And this was about 10 years ago when my husband and I were newly married, and we were probably not making the best choices in what we were eating. And right away we noticed that we were, you know, sleeping better and had more energy, and we were just choosing better foods overall to eat. But just like Audra and Jamie, for me, the biggest thing was when we wanted to start a family, you know, I took Juice Plus into my OB, and I wanted to know her thoughts on it. So we looked at the back of the label, and we saw oranges and cherries and papayas and beets and mangoes and spinach. And, you know, and she said, can you eat all this when you're pregnant? Yes, of course you can. And you're going to want to eat more of it. You're going to want to eat as much of it as you can. So I knew that I could take Juice Plus instead of a prenatal. So I have had 3 healthy pregnancies. I have 4 boys. Like Ellen mentioned, my last pregnancy was a twin pregnancy, and we went full term with them, no NICU, which was awesome. Their oxygen when they were born was amazing. Their APGAR scores were terrific, and I am just so blessed that we had that nutritional support through all of these pregnancies, especially the twin pregnancy. So for me, I've done a ton of research, and my kids are going to eat like kids. They're going to eat. Sometimes we're going to fail and do the best we can. We are doing the best we can, and we're going to give them mac and cheese, and we're going to give in and maybe give them an ice cream here and there. But I know that I've done my research, and Juice Plus is the best tool that I've ever found to help my family along and give them the most nutritional support that we can.
Ellen, you're muted.
Sorry, I muted myself because I had kids and dogs coming to the door. I just think Jenna's story was so great, and you're going to love Erica Frericks. Erica is up in Michigan, and she's a mom of 3 little ones, and she's got a fantastic story about not just getting on Juice Plus, but how she ended up in this mission.
I would love to share. I was actually introduced to Juice Plus a little over 6 years ago. Pregnant with my first child at the time, but that's not really how I got to Juice Plus. I had been blowing off my friend who had been inviting me to these events for about 6 months, and I kept hearing, Juice Plus, I mean, that sounds like something for old people, right? Like in your 20s, you're like, I don't need none of that stuff. So my husband, who's a third shifter, he's a sheriff deputy, came home from his yearly physical he has to get, and he is like, I got some bad news. And I'm thinking, like, what kind of bad news? I mean, he's tall, he's thin, I try my best to feed him well, that's what I'm supposed to do as a good wife. He's like, so my blood pressure and my cholesterol were like so high that the nurse said if I can't get him down in a year, I'm gonna have to go on a prescription. And I was kind of like, over my dead body, like it's like a personal insult to a wife. Like, am I not taking good care of you? So I just didn't know what else to do. The dude did not want to eat anything green. And so, you know what? She invited me to another Juice Plus event. And I was like, I'm just going to go. Maybe she'll stop inviting me if I just go. So I went, and I heard some great info. Like, we're supposed to be eating 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables in a day. I was pretty sure we weren't eating that in a week. So I thought, like, you know what? It's a win-win. They put fruits and vegetables in a capsule, sign me up. I also thought it was really great. I have a husband who cannot swallow a pill to save his life, like full on arguments in the kitchen over an allergy pill. You know how small those are. And so they have a chewable form, and that was like double win for us because, I was not going to be sprinkling the magical capsules in all of his food every day because I have enough work to do, right? So he was kind of the reason we got to Juice Plus, but we had our first child shortly thereafter. We have 3 children now. They're 2, 4, and 6, all healthy Juice Plus babies. My husband, a year after we got on Juice Plus, kind of looked back and we realized, like, wow, he normally lived on Dayquil, NyQuil, like October through May, the usual seasonal and cold crud that happens all winter. And we're like, oh my gosh, you were really not sick last winter. So that was great. His first physical came around the next year and his numbers had been reduced. And we thought, well, that was a celebration. But these years later, we look at these 3 kids we have now, 2, 4, and 6. And, we've never had an antibiotic in our house. We've never had an ear infection. We've never even had to make a doctor's appointment for an illness, which, to me, that's the norm for me. But honestly, I'm seeing all my friends posting on social media. We're talking about it at the park when we meet up. These kids are sick. They have allergies. They have, they're dealing with skin rash stuff. They've got prescription meds for like little teeny tiny tots. So I know that my norm is not the world's norm. For myself personally, I've always been a little bit healthier. But of course, I heard I was not eating enough fruits and vegetables. And I thought, even as healthy of an eater as I am, I'm just not getting enough. So what I didn't expect was, these debilitating migraines that I had lived with through all of my adolescence and early 20s, my early adulthood, just disappeared pretty much. So I was having 1 to 2 debilitating migraines a week, and now I might get 1 or 2 a year. So that was significant for me. Other than that, I cannot even tell you the good things that have happened as far as my monthly cycle, which used to be like my biggest dreaded moment of the month every month. And now, you know what? I'm going to be honest, I really don't mind it. It's half as long as it used to be. I'm not dealing with the cramps like I used to. I mean, I could go on and on. And like most people with the standard American diet, all of childhood and early adulthood, I spent constipated because I was eating like crap. I mean, just was. So that is not a problem anymore, which is also something you'll hear from pretty much everybody who takes Juice Plus. But you know what? Families are my passion. And I mean, like, I've made it my mission. Like, if there is a family within 5 feet from me, they're probably going to hear about Juice Plus, because when I heard a doctor say that this generation of parents would be the first one that would bury their children before themselves, I knew I had to do what I could do about it. And so I'm just on a mission to share that, and ain't nobody stopping me.
Erica, that's awesome. Thank you so much. It's such a gift to me, because I had reached out to your friend literally at church probably 6.5 years ago, and she subsequently shared Juice Plus with you. And so that's really the opportunity in this mission, is that you can reach people literally all over the world with a message that is hopeful, because at the end of the day, people really see changes. And this nutrition, again, it's life-giving nutrition, and we have science that backs it up. So that is just awesome. And in terms of the mission side of this, these are all moms, and you're still going to hear from Sandra and a couple more, but these are all moms who not only embraced the Juice Plus product experience because they saw the incredible value for themselves and their families, but they also saw that this was something that they could weave into their busy lives and share with others and create something for themselves. And I think that's a huge need for a lot of moms, maybe for a stay-at-home mom, to feel like, she's got something fulfilling on the side that's just for her, for a working mom as well. And Sandra's going to touch on her leap from corporate America to this in just a second. But, we have a very unique business model that allows you to grow at your own pace. You don't have things like monthly quotas. So all those other network marketing companies that you've been exposed to, that you've heard about, require a personal buy-in every month. And our company doesn't do that. That really allows basically this. For $50 a year, you can have a Juice Plus franchise, and you can go share it with as many people as you want out there. For me, it started with just wanting to make a couple $100 a month at home and contribute. It literally grew into my third career, and that first $200 that I made or whatever, I mean, now there's like zeros and stuff added on to that, right? So that it pays the mortgage, and it pays the bill, and it pays for swim lessons and all those kinds of things. And that's such a gift. So just imagine what being part of this could do for you, because I think you can see we're all having a ton of fun. We all feel very purpose driven, but we're also carving out a life that is truly extraordinary in a lot of ways, because it's making a difference on so many levels. That being said, I would like to have Sandra share her story, and then I'm going to come back to a couple other gals. Sandra, would you go ahead and just share your journey?
Sure. Yeah. So my journey began about 2 years ago. I was a full-time working mama, international travel, 2 young babies at home. My husband was traveling as well, and I was really stressed out to the max. I really wasn't taking care of myself, even though I felt like I was. And as a result, I ended up with a health crisis, and I ended up with adrenal fatigue, and like my body like had these engine lights going off. And I got to a point where I couldn't ignore them anymore. My hair kept falling out. My nails were brittle. I had 4 to 5 migraines a month. IBS. I was weepy. I was extremely exhausted. And I was a mess, and I needed a change. And so I jumped in with the Juice Plus product. I'd heard about it, 10 years prior. And, I was young and 30 and didn't need it. And I hear all these mamas on this call, and I'm like, I wish I would have had this before I had all my babies, because maybe I wouldn't have ended up here. But, I jumped in. I flooded my body with the nutrition, and I changed my lifestyle. And as a result, my body healed. And all of those symptoms 2 years in are gone. And I have energy that I don't even know what to do with. I went from barely running up my stairs to going 40 miles on my road bike. I hike every day. I love jumping in pictures because I feel like I just can't contain the energy. And I'm doing great. And one of the best things about it, being a working mom, taking care of yourself and then like little humans, I didn't have to worry about every green bean going down their throat. It was just like this insurance where I knew my kids were getting these fruits and vegetables every day. And it just kind of took the pressure off. And I think that reduced my stress as well, which really helped. And then I took the big leap. And so, first, jumping from corporate America was really easy because, I had 2 years where I fell in love with the product. I fell in love with the community, and then I fell in love with the company. And, it's really a company with a heart. And I realized that I could have a work-life balance that I wasn't able to have in corporate America. I could be more present with my parenting, which is something that I was really missing in my life. And I was really attracted to the fact that the company and the people that I'm surrounded with are all about lifting you up in personal development. And then the way that they reward you is through money, and who doesn't love money, and health insurance, as opposed to like fancy cars and jewelry. Having the security of a lifestyle and health insurance and something I can retire into, that really spoke to me for a family. So once I embraced all of that and helping people, like I was just so compelled to share my story that it's a true passion of mine. It's like I have to share it, and I want to help others and show people how easy it is to make the change. And so it just really aligns with where I am with my passion and being a light to others. Because somebody shared that light with me 2 years ago, and my life has never been the same. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can attest to the fact I've hiked with Sandra, so you have to hustle to keep up with her now. So so many nuggets in that. I'm just totally blown away with gratitude for what this is providing for so many of us. And I wanted to ask Jamie and Jenna, because you guys have been doing this for a few years with little ones, adding little ones to the family through your Juice Plus journeys of developing significant residual incomes with this, significant teams of people who are making a difference. Do you guys have a couple tips that you'll share about how do you do that in the midst of being home with little ones? How does that work for you guys? Jamie, do you want to go first? Or Jenna?
Sure. I can go first.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really just focus on consistency and trying to fit my business into kind of like the nooks and crannies of my life. It's getting a little easier as my kids are getting a little bit older and they're going off to preschool, and then eventually next year, 2 of them are going to kindergarten. But, I've been a stay-at-home mom with them full time, since they were born. And I just try to do things every day, even if it's something small, so that I'm just staying attached to my business. And I use my phone a lot. I try to use social media as much as possible. When I started my business, we moved across the country from Colorado to Indiana. And then exactly a year later, we moved from Indiana to Oregon. So when I started my business in Colorado, I was essentially starting there fresh. And then I had to do it again in Indiana and again in Oregon. So all three of those times, I've really focused on just connecting with people. So when we moved to Indiana, I reached out to people and I was just trying to make mutual friends of friends. And I just started kind of gathering women who had a common interest. And we would do like group hikes, and we would do meal prep together and different things like that. And so I kind of weaved my business into that and kind of shared with them. But also another important aspect of business for me has been joining a networking group here in Oregon, and it's specifically for mommy-owned businesses. And it has been a total game changer just for everything about my business. I mean, these moms in this group are struggling. I mean, they all have children who are sick all the time. And it's been an awesome way to really like kind of go back to that whole mission of helping people, because it really makes an impact for them. And that's been really huge for me. So yeah, I think just for me, like consistency and just fitting it into my day however I can. Now I'm to the point though where I just hired help. So I hired someone to help me out part-time, which has been awesome because now I can actually schedule time, which makes a difference because originally I did this business for me to be a part of something bigger so that I could really, be the best mom because I had time for myself and something bigger, to be a part of. So, I'm focusing on that now and really carving out that time for myself to do this. So.
Cool.
Oh, you're on mute, Ellen.
Sorry about that. There are so many good nuggets in there. I hope everyone got all of that. Jenna, what about for you? Where did she go? Oh, there you are.
Yeah. So, I mean, because my guys are so little, and all of us who have kids, I guess it doesn't matter the age, we're all out there. We're so busy. I think it's actually an easier business to do when you're busy because you're out there and you're talking to people. And, even if you're at the park or we just got back from swim team practice or you're at the grocery store, like you can just easily strike up a conversation. It comes up naturally. People are always talking about how, they're always sick or their kid's missing another day of school or, it just kind of fits naturally into conversation. So I think it's kind of easy to slip into the things that you're already doing to kind of weave it into what you've already got going on. And like Jamie said, this is something that it's like a personal growth type of thing. And it's amazing to have a business that you can do and be at home with it, to be the one to be able to be there when your kids wake up from a nap, to be the one to pick them up from school, to be the one that they come to not, you get to be their person. You get to be the one at home for them and also contribute and bring in as much money as you want. It's entirely in your hands. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
That is so awesome. And it's so true with that consistency. You can really, really build your dreams here because of the fact that we have a marketing plan that has unlimited earning potential. And that hooked me early on. And once I got a vision for this, I could see myself working towards that and going through those phases of life with my kids. And I actually made National Marketing Director of the Year. My youngest went to kindergarten. It was, that's the top level of our company, and they give us benefits. And, it's just a fantastic thing because we really believe that women should have choices, that it shouldn't be kids or corporate or destroy your health, but make six figures. Like we can have all of that here. And so I really want to end here. This is my surprise question of the night. But I would love for all of our panelists, and I'll just call on you one by one, to share in just a few words what you really see this doing for your family, for you personally, in the next 3 to 5 years. Erica, will you go first?
I will. You know, in the next 3 to 5 years, I would love to say, oh, I'm planning on bringing my husband home. I'm not. He loves his job. We love his job. He works 14 days a month, which is great, because I'm going to be honest, when he's home all week, you know, I'm like, are you going back to work soon? You know, it's great for him to have that thing that's his thing. But I just see, okay, 3 children. We've got 2 in private school. I've got a 3rd headed there in 2 years. Guys, that gets pricey, but it's something we're passionate about. So being able to afford that, and not just affording that, you know, I want to be able to take my kids ice cream once in a while, you know, if that's something we want to do. And we definitely want to take more family vacations. So that is totally on the docket for us.
That's so awesome. Sandra, what about for you?
So for me, in the next 3 to 5 years, I will have replaced my corporate income that I've left, and enjoying all those juicy corporate or package benefits that Juice Plus offers. And we'll have replaced all the international travel that I'm missing from my career before, and replacing it with family travel, and just doing it on my own time and on my own terms and where I want to go, and just really getting that family time in that I missed when I was trading hours for dollars.
Absolutely. That is so cool. That is so cool. And what about for you, Audra?
I see myself personally growing more into this, having the confidence and assertiveness to be able to fully take control of my own life, to be financially responsible. Where right now, where I'm just a stay-at-home mom growing into this, that financially I can be completely stable on my own, and we'll be able to travel. My husband's working pretty much 24/7 in his retail manager position, and I want to give him an option to do something else. Similar to Erica, I can't have my husband home all the time. He'll drive me nuts. He needs to be doing something. He's very driven. Working 24/7, we don't have a lot of family time. So being able to take the pressure off, I think would be wonderful for all of us as a family, to be able to do more together.
That's so cool. All right, Jamie.
So for me, I just see us having more just life flexibility. Like that's what I want for us is, you know, not just the financial aspect of it, but that is a big piece of it. I want to be able to send my kids to private school if I feel like it. And I want to be able to go on vacations when we want. And like Erica and Audra, my husband is a very driven man, and he's very successful at his career. So he does work hard, but I would love for us to be in a position where, you know, it doesn't have to be like so hard for us to do the things we want to do. So time and financial flexibility so that we can just live the life that we dream of and not have to ask permission from someone else.
Wow, that's powerful. Okay, Jenna.
Well, I mean, when I decided that I wanted to come home, when I wanted to be at home with my kids, my husband took the lead, and, you know, just taking that financial pressure off of him to allow him to kind of just breathe a little bit and relax and know that we can do this, and I can give him that time. I can give him that gift of just a little bit more financial freedom. That's my goal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, well, our last mama that we're going to call on is Lauren Klitsch, who is such a special lady. She has a great story, and she's going to wrap up our call sharing her story and where she's headed with this. And then we're going to actually just open up for questions for anyone that wants to ask a question. All right, Lauren, take it.
Thanks, Ellen. So I'm going to start a long time ago. I grew up being an athlete my whole life, and even had the opportunity to play a Division I sport in college. And so I thought that being an athlete just automatically qualified me for being healthy, right? Because I was super active, I was working out all the time, putting my body through rigorous training. And I thought that qualified me for being healthy. But the reality was I was struggling with a lot of issues like inflammation, chronic migraines, fatigue. My skin was terrible well into my 20s, which was super frustrating. And I didn't know, right? I had never received any education or training on nutrition. And then after college, I went and worked in the wellness industry for a couple of years, which again, I thought qualified me for knowing what it meant to be healthy. And I kind of had my aha moment when my son was born. You know, that happens to a lot of us when we become moms, right? And all of a sudden I had this little unadulterated body that it was completely my responsibility to care for. And that burden really weighed on me. And so I started doing a lot of research on nutrition. And it reminded me about when I was working in the wellness industry. I kept meeting all of these doctors and health coaches who I really respected, who were raving fans about Juice Plus, and they were eating Juice Plus themselves, and they were recommending it to all of their patients. And so I was like, you know what, I have to go, take a look at what this Juice Plus is. And it just automatically made sense because I knew that I was not going to be able to, feed my son what he needed. Because kids can be picky, you never know what they're going to eat one day from the next. And so we started taking Juice Plus, my whole family. And within a couple of weeks, the first thing I noticed was my energy shot through the roof. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I wanted to test out that whole food as medicine concept at this point. And I was like, I want to see if I can get rid of some of these other health issues that I'm dealing with. And so I did our Shred 10 program. And you know what, they went away, which was such a huge blessing. And just blessing upon blessing as we continue to Juice Plus, just continue to reap more benefits and different benefits. And so we've been taking Juice Plus for a little over 2 years now. And so I'm not going to lie, I actually went back to work after my son was born for like a total of 5 weeks. And then I decided, you know what, this is for the birds. This is not what I want to do. I've always wanted to be at home with my babies. And so I stopped working and I was like, you know what, I'm going to join this mission with the Juice Plus company. And, I'm so glad that I did. No one ever goes to college to major in network marketing, right? I don't think any of us have ever thought that we would be here, but when you find that tug on your heart and that calling and something that you're passionate about, it is you have to answer that call. And it has been such an amazing health journey, but also personal development journey as well. And so I started with really small goals. Like I just wanted to pay for our product because, I was at home, I wasn't working, and I wanted to be able to pay for my son's preschool when he was ready to go to school. And these moms on a mission have just totally inspired me. And, I'm so excited about where this company is going and what this company is doing and what the healthy living revolution is doing in people's lives. And it's so fun and so rewarding. And, it's easy to share because it's the most researched nutritional product in the world. And so that is one of the reasons why I decided with my second pregnancy that I was solely going to use Juice Plus as my prenatal nutrition. And like several of the other moms on this call, just had such a super healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. And that right there is the biggest gift that we can give to our kids, is just a healthy foundation. And, we too have never had any antibiotics or doctor visits that we didn't need to go to. And so that just gives me a lot of confidence as a mom in that. So I'm just so grateful for my friend who shared Juice Plus with me years ago.
Oh my gosh, that was such a perfect place to end, because I think through this whole panel, I hope that you really caught some vision for yourself and you saw that, we're all different women from different places, different walks of life, but, we're all kind of the same underneath, right? We want to have a good life. We want to have a healthy life. We love our kids. We love those precious moments when we can tuck them in and, you know, nurse them in the middle of a call. You know, you don't get to do all of that in corporate America. So we want to open it up for questions for anybody who's taking a peek at what we're up to. Because we are, I would say, 100% transparent. We love sharing our journeys because we know that it could absolutely change your life. I am going to stop the recording